We are continuing to track the tropics very carefully here in a very complicated setup. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you here as we detailed all that you need to know. This is as of Friday evening, so if it's later than that for you, you might seek out a newer video here. What we're looking at, of course, two systems. One of them, a major hurricane now. That's Umberto. This is still nothing. Not yet. It's trying to become Imelda, having a hard time doing so over the last couple of days, but it is expected to become a tropical storm sometime this weekend and then make a beeline closer to the Carolina coast. The questions are, will it come ashore? Where does it come ashore? And what are the impacts once it does? First off, we'll get Umberto out of the way. Here it is. Notice the eye wall. This thing has changed a lot in just a couple of days. A very healthy tropical storm. What you like to see in a major hurricane that shows you it's healthy is symmetry. So you think about like a donut, for example. You've got the hole in the middle and everything around the outside should be uniform. That's kind of the way it is right now. And it is a major hurricane and expected to become even stronger. Category 3 strength as of the 5 o'clock advisory, then strengthening to a Category 4 by Sunday into Monday. Curving away. That curve is something we're pretty confident about. Here we are in the Carolinas. If that was the only storm we were tracking, well, that's easy peasy. That's no problem at all. But here's the complicated one. We're near Cuba now. There's Haiti. These are the Turks and Caicos Islands, and those are the Bahamas. This doesn't look like much, and the reason is it's not. Right now, all it is are separate clusters of thunderstorms. It's really lacking any organization, and that's why we can't call it a tropical storm, can't even call it a tropical depression, certainly not a hurricane. What you need for those to have form is some strong closed circulation. Basically, you just want to see a big swirl, and we're not finding that right now, and that means the storm can't really organize or intensify. So what's holding it back? There could be a number of factors right now. There's a little bit of harsh wind acting against it, plus it's been right up against some mountainous areas like the Dominican and Cuba right now, for example. So as it pulls away from that ever so slightly, it'll get steered northward sometime tomorrow and into Sunday. That's going to help it get away from the mountains, get away from that harsher wind as well, and probably become a tropical depression and then a tropical storm. Notice all the agreement. There's not a lot of intrigue between now and early Monday. After that, well, all bets are off. Some computer models are pulling it right inland. Remember, yesterday the trend was for most of these to go right inland, bringing a big landfall into the Carolinas and big impacts as well. Now, we're kind of backwards again, where we do still have some bringing it ashore, but others actually stalling it out right about here and pulling it out to sea. What's with that? That's quite different, isn't it? So those are equal options to these at this point in the game. And there are reasons for both of those. Remember, we talked about yesterday the tug of war that could be happening between low pressure inland and a hurricane over here. That's Umberto, if you'll remember. This hurricane is trying to pull it out to sea. That low pressure is trying to pull it inland. And if both of those things are happening, well, there's got to be a winner at some point. Or if they're both tugging equally, think about when you play tug of war. If both of you and your friends are pulling the same strength, that's not going to move. The rope is going to stay in the same place. And that could be the case where we just see Imelda get up here and kind of sit and stall for a while. That wouldn't really be good, at least for the coastal areas. For our part of things in the Piedmont, that might mean fewer impacts for us. The Hurricane Center has put a cone on this thing, very easy through Monday, as we said, but by Tuesday and Wednesday, that's where things get complicated. They're forecasting it to be anywhere within this area by Tuesday, and that's a lot of uncertainty, isn't it? And we share that uncertainty. We're not sure exactly where it will go right now, but it's time to get prepared. So what we should know is that, yes, while it's not a guarantee we'll have bad rainfall or bad flooding, it sure is a possibility. And over the next week, the current forecast calls for about 3 to 5 inches in our area and more than that along the coastal areas. And what's really changed since yesterday, in my opinion, the system's taking longer to develop, moving more slowly. If it keeps slowing down a little bit, that could delay landfall or even prevent it from coming ashore. What you got to do is just pay attention to the forecast. Now I'll show you a couple of different computer models and what they're thinking I'm not endorsing this. This is just something that we're looking at as a guide. But by Monday, if you're along the coastal areas and it were to come ashore, this model here has wind gusts in that 50 to 60 mile per hour range, especially in South Carolina. Here in the Piedmont, we're probably going to have some breezy weather with this by Monday night into Tuesday. But the rainfall, that's the big question mark. And who gets the bullseye? Well, along the coastal areas, if it sits and stalls down there, that could be the spot that gets really bad rain. For us, if we have 5 to 6 inches of rain over several days, we can probably handle that okay. But the coastal areas, 10, 20 inches of rain, that's not something anybody can handle. That model I just showed you, here's what it was thinking. It still has the storm coming right there to South Carolina and then kind of stalling out. We would be getting some rain over there, but Umberto does kind of slow it down and eventually kind of pull it a little bit. That's not a good scenario. That's not a good storm situation. This other model, what we call the American model or the GFS, well, what it does is it has it get up to about here and then it tugs it away. So that has the hurricane winning, and that would lead to much better outcomes for us. Just look at the difference on the rainfall chart between this one and the one I just showed you. This one only has us getting in that 1 to 3 inch range, and the coastal area is only about 4 to 5 inches. That would be a lot better, wouldn't it? We still need a little bit more time to narrow down those possibilities. So bottom line, we know this thing is becoming a tropical storm or hurricane by Sunday into Monday. It's going to move up the coast, but the question is, will it move inland in South Carolina or North Carolina? That storm could slow to a halt, and if it does, there are going to be some big bullseyes for rainfall in the Carolinas. It's just a question of who. At this point, I think the heaviest rain will probably be a little south of us, but even still, we're likely to get some rain and wind in our area. The earliest we could see that would be Monday night, lasting into Wednesday, maybe a little longer. We'll be tracking it very closely for you, as you can tell. And don't forget, we do have rain this weekend as well. Saturday, a good chunk of the day is going to be pretty wet.